Welcome to POL Classics. Be sure to check out the best of POL from over the years. It's at its most popular day and time, and guess what? It's only on WNEP+.
WNEP proudly presents the premier outdoor show in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, your window to the great outdoors. Tonight on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life.
We'll take you on an early muzzle-loader hunt, and we'll talk to a hunter heart attack survivor. This story could save your life. Plus, week 2 of the Arctic Cat Contest, courtesy of Rusty Palmer.
This week's show is ready to roll. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. I'm Ken Hunter and I'm here with Don Jacobs. And Jake, this is the second week of our big Arctic Cat Contest, and we'll be talking a lot more about this.
What a comfy machine.
Boy, what a machine. And also, we have all kinds of hunting going on right now. Archery season, there's about a week left. Small game season's in. We've got turkey season's going full swing, and muzzleloader season was just over. And you had a chance to get out and do a little bit of that.
And what an excellent season it was. It was a little unseasonable as far as the weather, a little warm, but we managed to get together with the father and son hunting team of Tom and Adam Champy of West Wyoming. They invited us along to a Bradford County farm.
We're going to be within, I'm going to be able to see him, he'll be able to see me. Okay. Let's get loaded up because then it'll be a lot easier than playing with it in the trees. Sure. I don't know whose gun is here. These are new inlines, yep. So we shall see. Scopes and everything.
Are you using Pyrodex?
We're using Pyrodex, we're using hollow point.
Savits, oh, the power
belt balls. Yeah. And we're using 100 grains of Pyrodex. So just keep that away from yourself. Go ahead and start that down the barrel. Just keep it away from yourself. Nice part about it is they're starting easy without the ball starter.
No kidding. With that plastic sleeve? And
yep, you go right down.
As long as your barrel's clean.
Yeah,
they go down real easy.
Yep. Make sure you're seated all the way.
One good thing about these guns, you can load here, and as long as you don't put the primer in, it's not hot.
And it's, I actually think it's safer than trying to stand up in your tree stand on that little platform and maneuver around.
Yep.
All right.
If I did more than one shot, I hit it.
Be about a 20-minute walk up the hill.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You too. Adam, good luck, bud. And I'll just check with you on the walkie-talkie when we're ready to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
hope I hear a bang at about 7:30 or so.
Well, let's see. These are usually like 9:30 stands.
9:30 is good. We're home in time for fresh venison and scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Actually, if you shoot one at him, you're buying breakfast. So.
Yeah. If you miss.
And if you miss, you're buying more than breakfast.
We're going for steak and eggs.
All right. Good luck. Guys.
All right. Good luck.
Shortly after we separated, Tommy got Adam situated in his permanent tree stand.
Adam, they should filter up from the front here, coming across the back, so keep your eyes open that way, all right? Just be sure you're a target. Those only.
And now it was time to wait for daybreak and for the deer to start moving. That didn't take long. Notice the deer on the right-hand side of the screen.
you know, this is new to us with the inlines. Of course, we've been out with the bow and we've done a lot of archery hunting. But last year, right after Christmas, deciding to buy the inline and do an inline hunt. It's brand new. So we've been out. We've spent quite a bit of time at the range. You know, accurate, very accurate as any deer rifle we've carried. Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice shot, Adam. Excellent. All right, let's go take a look at this deer. Where's it at? All right, nice doe. Nice doe. Good job, congratulations. It's a nice doe.
I thought I heard somebody shoot over here. Nice job. You? Nice going. Wow, that's a mature doe, too.
Yeah, she's nice.
Nice sized deer.
Nice sized deer.
Was it alone, or?
I don't know, was it alone?
It was alone. Yeah. So, in your mind, did this go off as planned?
I thought it went off really well. I mean, what's better than coming in here at 7:30 and being able to shoot a doe and just sit the rest of the day and relax and watch whatever else is going on around you.
It doesn't get any better than that. Well, guess what? We're talking about a father and son hunt, beautiful weather, early opportunity with the inlines. Yeah. It really doesn't get any better than that. Of course, we want to thank Tommy and Adam for allowing our cameras along.
That was a great hunt, Jake. Don't you love to see that, huh?
I love to see that. I love to see kids spending time with their fathers and mothers. Absolutely.
We enjoyed that. Well, listen, we have our first clue coming up now. This will be the first clue on this Sunday evening's show, the fifth in the series. This is an animal found in Pennsylvania. Get your pencils and papers out and write it down so you don't forget. That's pretty easy.
That's a pretty easy one, I think.
I could remember that one.
Yeah. We'll have more clues throughout today's program, but first we're going to go to Corey Bailey of Rusty Palmer with an ATV safety tip.
Here's two important safety tips. Always wear your helmet and goggles when riding because of obstacles such as tree branches if you fall off and bang your head. Goggles if there's flying debris such as rocks, dust, so you might lose control of your machine. Here's two important safety tips.
We'll have even more POL Classics on WNEP Plus right after this.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. You know, Jake, we've got archery season going on for deer. We've got a lot more deer hunting coming up. We're all going to be out chasing some of these nice bucks. But unfortunately, a lot of us, I don't think, get into shape, or we get into shape during the season, and that can lead to some problems. I know heart attack is one of the things that concern a lot of people when they're out hunting.
Absolutely. Now, do you think you're in good shape?
I feel like I am, but there's some things I might want to know about here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think I am, and so did Wayne Hiller of Scranton. He thought he was in great shape 2 years ago when he went out on a deer hunt. He's got a story to tell, and believe me, this may save your life.
Money is God, so
I enjoy the outdoors, hunting and fishing and things like that, and every year I look forward to getting out in the fresh air, and I'm, you know, with a little bit of scouting and some good luck, I've been lucky and I've bagged, you know, several deer and a couple bear and PA and turkeys, and been fortunate.
On December 1st of 2001, Wayne experienced something that would change his life forever.
Actually, I got my deer already. I was done hunting for the week, and a close friend of mine came up to our hunting cabin out in Pike County, and I took him out on my deer stand, and I was 44, he's 53. He got a nice 5-pointer, and I helped him clean it, and I started dragging it out for him, and that's when all of a sudden the symptoms hit me of the heart attack, you know?
And you probably drugged many a deer out in your lifetime?
Yes, yes. And never experienced anything like that before, and I hope I don't again. One of the things the doctor mentioned, you know, you just don't go out and you're dragging a deer every day of your life, so I exerted myself a little bit and doing things that, like I say, don't do normally, and ended up having the heart attack there.
What symptoms did you have, Wayne?
Of course, the classic chest pains in my arms, nausea feeling, and then pains going down my back. So
That's all the classics, right?
The classic symptoms. And like I say, being certified, I knew what they were and identified them, and I told my buddy, I said, oh boy, here we go.
So how did you get to the hospital?
My friend, he drove us out to the interstate, and that's where we called 911, and the ambulance met us out on the interstate and carried me into the hospital, and I was in the midst of a heart attack, and the doctors claimed it was the worst was to come. And sure enough, I coded in the hospital, and thank God for the good staff at CMC. I was able, they revived me, and and here I am today. I ended up with some massive heart damage. About half of my heart is damaged over the situation.
And you're not the typical heart attack person that I envisioned. When we started talking about this story with the Heart Association, we were saying, okay, you know what we need to do? We need to find somebody who just rolled off the couch on a Friday night, grabbed his hunting gear, put the bologna sandwiches in the backpack, and went and drug a deer out.
Right. Well, here, I'm the classic example. I enjoyed the outdoors. I was always outdoors. I was preparing for the season, getting my body in better shape than what it was. And here again, not knowing the cholesterol part of it, not knowing my medical baselines, I ended up with I had high cholesterol and ended up with a heart attack.
Dr. Ronald Dietrich is a board member for the American Heart Association, and he says hunters can often put themselves in risk of a heart attack.
Obviously, it can be fairly physically demanding. So, you know, in addition to just having a reasonably good fitness level, you also have other things to contend with, such as the weather, the cold weather, the terrain itself, if there's snow on the ground. All of these can add to really the energy cost, what it takes you to get around and move around, and if you're lucky enough to get in here, to drag one out. So all of those things factor into this. Your circulation is very important in terms of maintaining your body heat, and so all of that affects your circulation. You know, the temperature, the wind, you know, I mean, worst case scenario, you have a snowy, windy day that's also cold, and then, you know, you get a little bit cold besides, yourself. And so, you know, that is a pretty bad case scenario for something to happen, you know, especially when chances are, for the most part, you've been sitting around waiting, you know, watching TV or relaxing, or, you know, like most people, there's a lot of people that don't get out and do much exercise, and particularly in the winter. So now all of a sudden in the colder weather, and so now all of a sudden, you know, you take off and you want to go out in the woods to hunt, and it's a big change, and it's a big challenge to your body to handle all of that. It's a little bit hard to change some of the risk factors for heart disease 2 weeks before you're ready to go out. So, you know, at that point, it really becomes looking for the signs and symptoms and awareness of a heart attack, you know, a situation that would cause you a problem. So it's more of awareness of those signs and symptoms.
Michelle Suma is an exercise specialist at CMC and a member of the American Heart Association.
My experience here at the Community Medical Center, out of all the seasons, hunting season stands out the most in the heart area for me. I noticed that many hunters come in here yearly with either heart attacks, they either suffered from a heart attack, they had signs of heart attack, or some hunters didn't make it out of the woods. And I knew we needed to do something, and that's how we developed this Operation Heartbeat hunter awareness idea, and we're going forward with it. The number one thing we want the hunters to be aware of is recognition. All the symptoms don't have to occur. It could be as little as shortness of breath. A heart attack has many signs. It could be one sign, chest pain. It could also be just jaw pain. It could be shoulder pain, heaviness in the biceps. It's just recognizing that something's occurring, and if it's when you stop or rest and it stops, obviously it can be heart related. So recognition is the most important thing. So it could be just one sign or symptom. It doesn't have to be many. These cards we're distributing, and we have them wherever you could pick up a license, a hunting license in the Lackawanna County area. We have these CPR cards on one side, And on the reverse side, it's know the signs of heart attack and what to do.
Would you know what to do? That's the big question from the American Heart Association. That's the question from Michelle, from Dr. Dietrich, and of course Wayne Hiller. They want to make sure that you know what to do. That little card is available wherever licenses are sold in Lackawanna County, and can stick one in your wallet.
Yeah.
And I will too, and we'll make sure that every one of our loved ones get them. The Heart Association wants you to know where you can pick these up and what to do in the case of a heart attack. Here's how you do it. Contact the American Heart Association. The local number is 822-6247 or 1-800-AHA-USA1, and there is their website. That information will be on the internet too after the show, and we'll give that to you a little bit later. This could save your life.
Good
Ken.
information. You know, Jake, I'm going to keep it myself, but I'm going to make some of the people I hunt with aware of it as well.
I have a bunch of them at my desk. Take them and hand them out freely.
I'll do that. Thanks. Good stuff. Hey, we're going to go to our second clue now, coming across the bottom of the screen. This is the second clue for tonight's show. Coming across the bottom of the screen, another Pennsylvania
That's easy.
animal.
That's
yeah,
easy.
real easy one here.
A gila.
Yeah. That's
We all know what
I
a
thought it
gila
was,
is.
too. Some kind of a lizard.
Of course, we keep talking about safety and driving ATVs. Let's go to Corey Bailey from Rusty Palmer for another safety tip.
Sitting here in an ATV, and I want to stress one of the most important factors. Do not associate drugs and alcohol with riding an ATV. Just as well as driving a car, you can wreck an ATV just as easy. There again, don't drink and drive.
POL Classic, we'll have much more of it on WNEP Plus right after this.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. You know, we've got a lot more to talk about regarding this Arctic cat, and Corey Bailey's going to tell us about some more of the accessories.
Corey, I have to admit, this is probably the most dressed up ATV I've ever seen. Explain some of the added features here.
Okay, we're going to start out. We got this spotlight here. It's magnetic. Take it off, shine it where you want to. If you're
So it'll stay there while you're driving?
Yep. You can lift your box up with it on and get your gear out.
Wow.
Pack a lunch.
Hard plastic?
Hard plastic.
Of course, everything's all in camouflage.
Yes.
All right.
We got a little storage bin. This is the multi-rack pack system.
Right.
You slide this right out. These pins is what holds everything on.
So this is the, these are the features. The actual ability to take them on and off is the MRP
Yes. Yep.
idea. Okay.
And then we go back here to our gun boot. Storage for your gun. You pull the pin out, slide the top off. We got bags for storage.
Now the bags are on both sides of the fenders?
Yes. Yep.
And again, more storage. Storage everywhere. And of course, this baby.
Yep. You can put your hunting gear in there. You can put your rattling horns, whatever you're after.
On top of the whole idea of it being, you know, it could tow, it's got a towing package, it's a strong machine, and all this added attraction. I'll tell you what caught my eye, and I think it's going to catch the eye of all the viewers, is this device. Now, what does this do?
Well, this is our new blind system from Arctic Cat. Start taking it apart.
It's designed to be a blind?
Yes, it actually goes right over top of the four-wheeler.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
It pretty much just unfolds.
Okay.
You gotta pull these out. These are your supports. And just fold it up.
So we're actually building a blind.
Yep.
Well, it's building itself, actually.
This slides out. What's handy too is with the light. You can put a little light on the subject.
Oh my goodness. You could sleep in this. This could be a tent. Poof. Oh my goodness. This is Velcro. And now we're ready to hunt ducks. Is that not a neat feature? And we didn't even take it off of the ATV.
Nope.
We're all set up. And little shooting portholes all over the place. We use this for a deer blind. This is incredible.
Actually has ropes up here, or pull straps, so you can just tear it down.
So when you see ducks, you can just go, boom, boom. Ha ha! I want one. This is a toy, boy. This is every sportsman's dream.
Yeah.
It really is. Honest to goodness.
Thanks, Corey, for telling us more about all those great accessories for this Arctic Cat. And now you see going across the bottom of your screen,
Let's do it.
Another one of those clues. The next one you need, remember you need 4 clues. This is a Pennsylvania animal.
And all you have to do is unscramble those.
Unscramble?
That could be found in the state of Pennsylvania. Yeah. Any 4 from any of the weeks. Once you get any of the 4 clues from any of the weeks, here's what we need you to do with them. We need you to put them on the back of a postcard with the 4 clues, your name, your address, and your phone number. And that's the easy part. Then you address it to Arctic Cat Contest, WNEP TV, 16 Montage Mountain Road, Music, Pennsylvania, 18507. Now, here's some of the rules. 18 years or older to enter. You must be, enter as often as you wish. We're going to give clues out for the next 2 weeks. And here's the biggie. No more lottery problems.
Oh, boy.
No more lottery problems.
Going to do it live, aren't we?
Live.
Yeah.
The night before the buck season, November 30th, we're giving this away.
So there'll be no mistakes that night.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Good.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to have to wrap things up here for Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. And welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Once again, the American Heart Association wants you to be safe this year. You call the local office at 570-822-6247. There's the 800 number and the website. And of course, they will be on our website at WNEP.com and Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, a great association. They want hunters to be safe and to know the causes and the symptoms of heart attacks.
Good information. Need to know that stuff. Well, listen, coming across the bottom of your screen is the 4th and final clue for this week. Make sure you get a pencil and paper, write that clue down. Fourth and final for this week. They now have enough to enter the contest. If they didn't see last week, so they still have enough.
And it doesn't matter which ones of the 4 clues you put down on your postcard, but we do need them to come in the form of a postcard. And here's how you do that. You put 4 clues on the back of a postcard along with your name, your address, and your phone number. And that is important because we need to be able to get a hold of you. And we need you to put it and address it to Arctic Cat Contest at WNEP TV, 16 Montage Mountain Road, Music, Pennsylvania, and the zip code is 18507. All the information on the Arctic Cat Contest can also be found on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life's homepage at WNEP.com. You know, we haven't had a product giveaway, and all that's going to change. We're going to get back into that, right?
A little busy with a few other things right now, but we'll get back to the regular programming real quick.
Excellent. Good luck if you're going out.
Same to everybody else.
And
good hunting.
Same to you. On behalf of everybody here at Pennsylvania Outdoor Life and WNEP, enjoy the great outdoors. Good night now. Thank you for joining us for a look back at POL Classics. Now I'm going to invite you to join us every Sunday night at 6:30 on WNEP+.